Pull story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a magical forest where a grand costume carnival is about to begin. But one little goat isn't feeling the excitement. Let's find out why. The cute little goat left his house sadly that day. While everyone in the forest chatted excitedly about the costume carnival happening tomorrow, he just couldn't bring himself to smile. "I have nothing to wear," he sighed, kicking a pebble down the path. "I'll never win the prize for the best costume." Seeing his long face, his friends, a cheerful squirrel and a wise little rabbit, hopped over. "Don't be so glum," chirped the squirrel. "Go see Mr. Owl," the rabbit added. "He's the best tailor in the whole forest. He can definitely help you." Hope sparked in the little goat's heart. He thanked his friends and hurried through the winding forest paths until he reached the tall oak tree where Mr. Owl lived. He knocked on the door. Mr. Owl, with his big round spectacles perched on his beak, opened it. "Mr. Owl, sir," the goat said, his voice trembling a little. "Please, can you make me the best costume ever? I really want to win the contest." Mr. Owl adjusted his glasses and looked the goat up and down with a thoughtful expression. The best costume, you say? That is a very special request." He paused, tapping his wing against his chin. "To create such a masterpiece, I will need two very rare ingredients. Moose, bring me some feathers from the sad parrot, and you must fetch the magic stones guarded by the lions behind Mount Gibble. Only with these can I sew the finest outfit the forest has ever seen." The goat's jaw dropped. He gulped, but the parrot never laughs, and everyone knows the lions are terrifying. The thought of facing two huge lions made his knees knock together. Mr. Owl smiled gently. "Courage, little goat," he hooted softly. "Sometimes the greatest rewards require the greatest bravery." With Mr. Owl's words echoing in his mind, the little goat took a deep breath and set off on his quest. His first stop was the weeping willow tree where the sad parrot lived. Just as he expected, he found her perched on a branch, crying big splashy tears into the stream below. "Excuse me, Mrs. Parrot," the goat asked politely. "May I please have some of your beautiful feathers for my costume?" The parrot looked at him with her sorrowful eyes. "My feathers only fall when I laugh," she sobbed. "Bah, I only laugh once in 1,000 years. My heart is just too heavy." The little goat felt a pang of sympathy, but he didn't give up. He knew he had to try. First, he made the silliest face he could, crossing his eyes and sticking out his tongue. The parrot just sniffled. Then, he tried to juggle 3 acorns, but ended up tripping over his own hooves and landing in a pile of leaves. The parrot let out a small, watery giggle. Encouraged, the goat started telling the silliest jokes he knew. "Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything." He followed it with another, "What do you call a fake noodle? An imposter at that." A real chuckle escaped the parrot. The goat continued, hopping and telling one ridiculous joke after another. Soon, the parrot's small chuckles grew into a full-blown laugh, a wonderful musical sound that echoed through the trees. She laughed louder and louder until she was rocking back and forth on her branch. And as she did, a shower of her most vibrant, colorful feathers floated down around the goat. "Oh, thank you, the goat exclaimed, carefully gathering the beautiful plumes. He waved goodbye to the now smiling parrot and continued on his journey. Next, he faced the daunting task of climbing Mount Gibble. The path was steep and rocky, but the thought of the magic stones and his amazing costume kept him going. Finally, he reached the top. There, in the center of a clearing, lay a single, dull black stone. It didn't look very magical at all. Suddenly, 2 enormous lions emerged from behind the rocks. Their roars shook the ground. "Who dares come to our mountain?" one of them growled, his voice a low rumble. The little goat trembled from his horns to his hooves. He wanted to run, but he remembered Mr. Owl's words about courage. He stood his ground, though his voice was a mere squeak. I just need a magic stone for the carnival costume." The lions looked at each other and began to whisper. The goat held his breath. Finally, the first lion spoke again, his voice much softer. "We will give you the stone, little goat, but on one condition. Anything. The goat blurted out, "Take us to the carnival with you." The goat blinked in surprise. "Take you? But ... Everyone in the forest says you're fierce and that you hate parties and dancing. They're all scared of you." A look of sadness crossed the lions' faces. "That's not true," the second lion said quietly. "They fear us only because we are lions, but we love music. We love to dance more than anything." To prove their point, the lions reached into a hidden bush and pulled out necklaces made of bright yellow flowers. They placed them around their shaggy manes, and right there on the mountaintop, they began to twirl and leap with surprising grace. They waltzed and swayed, their large paws moving lightly on the ground. Watching them, the little goat's fear completely melted away, replaced by awe. "You're amazing," he cried out. "Of course, you can come with me." The moment he said those words, something incredible happened. The dull black stone on the ground began to pulse with light. It cracked open, revealing a hoard of smaller stones that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. The goat and his new friends laughed with delight. Together, they gathered the shining pieces and rushed back down the mountain, their hearts full of excitement. They arrived back at Mr. Owl's house just as the sun was setting. The wise old tailor took the colorful feathers and the glowing stones. With a nod, he got to work. His needles flew faster than a hummingbird's wings, stitching the feathers, the goat's own soft wool, and the radiant stones into not one, but 3 dazzling costumes. The next day, the carnival was in full swing. The forest was filled with music and laughter. The peacock proudly spread his magnificent tail, expecting his usual round of applause. But this year, the crowd's attention was quickly stolen. The little goat stepped onto the stage. His costume was breathtaking. The parrot's feathers created a rainbow cape, and the magic stones glowed like captured stars, casting a brilliant light over the audience. The applause was like thunder, rolling through the entire forest. The goat bowed proudly, his heart swelling with joy. He had done it. But then, his 2 lion friends appeared at the edge of the stage. The music stopped. The crowd gasped in terror. "Lions, run for your lives!" Someone shrieked, and a panic began to spread. "Oh!" The little goat leaped forward, holding up his hooves. "Stop!" he yelled, his voice clear and strong. "Don't be afraid. These lions are not scary. They are my friends, and they came here to do what they love most. They love to dance." As if on cue, the lions began to sway to the silent beat. They spun and twirled, their flower necklaces bobbing. Slowly, the fleeing animals stopped and turned to watch, mesmerized. A soft beat started up again from the cricket band. The music grew louder as paws and claws began to clap, wings began to flap, and tails began to swish. The lions bowed, and soon, the whole forest was dancing together, squirrels with bears, mice with badgers, and foxes with lions. From that day on, no one in the forest ever feared the lions again. They were seen at every party, their graceful dancing a beloved sight. The little goat, who started out just wanting to win a prize, learned a much more valuable lesson, that with a little bit of courage and a whole lot of kindness, you have the power to change everything. Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tales that warm the heart. We'll see you in the next video.